Hey guys, this is going to be my birth plan video, so if you're interested in hearing about what I have on there and things that we have decided to do this time, continue watching. So I took a lot of the wording from Sierra Pearl Darling. I liked how she had worded the beginning of her birth plan, so I took a lot of her wording for that, changed it up a little bit differently in some places, but hopefully she doesn't mind. So if you're watching, I hope you don't mind. So starting off says, "Dear birth attendants, appreciate your support and encouragement as my husband and I bring our second child into this world. I am prepared for a natural, non-medicated labor and delivery and would like to avoid any interventions unless medically necessary. I understand certain circumstances arise and may interfere with my goals listed below. Should those circumstances arise, I would like to have a moment to discuss things with my husband and doctor, and if I am unable to make decisions for myself, my husband will be the one to make all decisions for the delivery." And I said, we would love to have a staff of nurses who enjoy natural deliveries during our time in labor and delivery. Thank you. Obviously, when we go in, before we go in, actually, I will be calling the hospital ahead of time so that I can request the room with the hydro tub. But I still had it in my birth plan just in case, you know, because when you call for the hydro tub, you also tell them you would like, you know, natural doctors and nurses who enjoyed natural labors. Sorry, I'll get it out. Okay, so for the labor portion, my husband Stephen and doula, I won't say her name, will be the only attendants I prefer in my room during labor and delivery. All other visitors will be asked kindly to wait until I am ready for visitors. We actually do not want any visitors even after we have the baby. We mostly want that first hour of, they call it magic hour. I'm sure most hospitals have the same type of wording or whatever, but we just want that first hour of just us with the baby before they do any, you know, anything. But specifically just for us to bond with her, because immediately after I had Landon and they took him away, and by the time I got him back, here comes my mother-in-law in and my dad and my mom, and it was just like, we just felt like we didn't have that time to really bond with Landon alone. So for this baby, we want that time, and then, you know, later on I'll call my mom and have her bring Landon and, you know, have all four of us kind of bond as a family, and then we'll be allowing visitors. But you know, it's just really important for me to have that in there so they know that no visitors. I do not want visitors while I'm in labor anyways, because I'm going to be in my own state of mind and I do not want people interrupting me. So excuse me, I got hiccups. I prefer to have a hep lock during labor. I would like to have free range to move about the room for natural pain relieving methods. I would also like a room with a hydro tub if possible. Again, like I said, even though that I will be calling ahead of time, I still put that in my birth plan. I would prefer intermittent fetal monitoring to allow me to be active during labor as long as there are no complications with the baby. You know, just allowing me to move freely down the hallways and things like that. I know the options I have for pain management. Please do not offer them, as I know they're available if I should change my mind. I know that sometimes nurses will be like, you know, if you need an epidural, you have to let us know. They did that several times when I was in labor with Landon, and it was just really irritating because I know the epidural's there. I know that there are options for me to relieve the pain, but I do not want to be constantly reminded. So that was important to have that in there as well. And then I would like to stay properly hydrated with water as I desire. One thing that I really was bothered with when I was in labor with Landon was I wasn't allowed to have anything to eat or drink. All I was able to have was a popsicle or ice chips, which doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything at all. I was just so thirsty, and of course when you have an epidural, they don't allow you to have that because it can make you sick. So, and I had an epidural with Landon, so. Delivery. I would like to push as I feel my body is ready. With him, they checked me and they were like, okay, you're 10 centimeters, let's start pushing. And I was numb. I didn't know. It was my first time, so I just did what they did. I did what they said. So this time around, I feel like since I am doing a natural labor and I am going to feel things, I am going to know when I'm ready to push. I don't want somebody telling me, okay, now it's time to push, because I feel like my body knows. It knows when it's ready, and I will know when I need to push, so, you know. Please feel free to count for me through each contraction. I don't want them to feel like they will annoy me with counting, because it helps me. I can't concentrate on counting, so, you know, I wanted to throw that in there so that they felt comfortable counting with me. I would like to allow my body to tear naturally and avoid an episiotomy. While I did not have an episiotomy with Landon, when the doctor shoved his hands in me, I tore. So I'm hoping to avoid that this time. We would like to wait until the cord stops pulsating before it's clamped and cut. My husband Stephen would like to... I need to reword this because I messed up. My husband Stephen would like to be the one to cut the cord at the time it's ready. Obviously, normal stuff. And I would like immediate skin-to-skin contact and to begin breastfeeding immediately. Those are extremely important for me. After delivery, I would prefer all measurements and routine procedures for baby to be delayed until after we have finished breastfeeding, provided the baby is okay. That's extremely important to me this time. We are planning the baby to strictly have breast milk and no formula given to the baby without consent first. You know, I didn't want to be like rude and be like, don't give my baby formula, but, you know, you just never know. You never know what may come up or whatever, so, I obviously want consent first before they do anything like that. We will be delaying her first bath until we are home. Please do not bathe our newborn. So, those are all the things. Sorry. I had to check, see what Lana was doing. So those are all the things for labor. There's a small section at the bottom for cesarean. I would like to be conscious throughout through the procedure. I would like my husband present at all times, like to breastfeed as soon as possible, and prefer the baby to be in the recovery room with me at all times. Some of the things I didn't put on here that a lot of people will be like, you know, are you doing this? Are you doing that? As far as the eye ointment, our hospital is very persistent on doing it. They will actually call CPS on you and be like, you know, they look at it as you're putting your baby in harm's way, and my doctor said it's more of a hassle to not get it than it is, you know, if you just go ahead and get it and whatever. So whatever. I don't want to deal with the hassle. What are you doing, bud? So I just didn't want to deal with the hassle of that. And then as far as the vitamin K shot, I believe that's, yeah, vitamin K. Sorry, I'm getting lost in my thoughts because he's back there doing something. The vitamin K shot we felt was more of a risk not getting it than it is a risk getting it. My husband's mom has blood clotting issues, and she's had them for as long as I can remember. That we've been together. So for us, that was something that we just went ahead and decided to go ahead and do. Okay, sorry, I had to go get Landon. He was climbing on the chair, pushing buttons on the microwave. So that's pretty much everything for my birth plan. I'm going to look over it and look at some other birth plans. Since I did write this up very quickly, I might run across something that I might be like, oh, I definitely want that in there. But mostly just this was everything that I kind of was a big deal to me as far as, you know, comparing to my first labor. Just things that I was kind of going through in my head that I thought over and over and over. I just didn't like how this was done or how they did this and how I was pushed to do this. And, you know, this time around I feel like I'm so much more aware that I actually have choices. Whereas before I just kind of went with what the hospital does and the nurses do and what everybody else has told me as far as family that they did. So, you know, this time around I feel like I have the right to make my choices and things like that. And, you know, it's definitely something to look into if you're, you know, planning another birth, like having another baby, or if you are about to have another baby or thinking about having another baby. It's definitely something to consider, to have choices, because you do have choices. So that's it for my birth plan video. If you guys have any questions or, you know, anything that you think maybe I should consider or think about, please feel free to comment, and I, you know, will read over them. But so that's it. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.